2018 marks 25 years of UFC. To kick off our first pay-per-view, we are going to Boston with one of the baddest heavyweight fights in a very, very long time.
Two of the most dangerous men walking the face of God's green earth.
UFC Heavyweight Champion of the World!
Depuis 25 ans, aucun poids lourd de l'UFC n'a réalisé ce que le champion Stipe Miocic tentera de faire à l'UFC 220.
Stipe Miocic is a monster.
Défendre la ceinture de la catégorie pour une troisième fois consécutive.
Go, champ, 35 seconds!
He has tied the record for successful heavyweight title defenses.
L'aspirant numéro 1, Francis Ngannou, veut toutefois lui barrer la route.
Francis Ngannou has arrived!
As soon as I connect,
Oh! That's how scary Francis Ngannou is.
I can win my fight by knockout. It will be the same thing for Stipe.
Good Lord.
I can throw hard too. We'll see what happens.
Un autre grand combat pour le titre est présenté en demi-finale avec l'aspirant aux puissantes mains, Volkan Ozdemir, qui a mis fin à ses deux derniers combats en un total de 70 secondes.
Volkan Ozdemir does it again!
I'm explosive,
Switzerland stand up.
fast, and full of knockouts.
You gotta be kidding me!
Mais ses puissantes mains n'ébranlent pas le champion. Le lutteur olympique et excellent combattant livre pour livre, Daniel Cormier.
Doesn't scare me one bit. You can't outwork me, Volkan. You can't compete against me, Volkan. It's just way in over his head now. He's gonna get beat.
Avant que l'UFC n'amorce 2018 avec d'extraordinaires combats de championnat,
Go as explosive as you can.
préparez-vous au décompte de l'UFC 220.
I can't wait for that fight. I can't wait for that fight.
Le désert du Nevada est maintenant la patrie d'adoption d'un combattant d'origine africaine sur le point d'entrer dans l'excellence. Mais le poids lourd de l'UFC, Francis Ngannou, n'imagine pas cette vie quand il commence à poursuivre son rêve dans les sports de combat.
Mixed martial art wasn't my goal. People start telling me that you're born for this sport, you should do this sport. You're made for this sport. And then I was like, yes, but that's not my problem. I want to be a boxer. My coach, he said, trust me, you can change the history of this sport. You can become the champ.
Ngannou est un athlète trop doué pour ne pas tenter une carrière dans les arts martiaux mixtes. Moins de 3 ans après avoir commencé à s'entraîner et se battre, l'UFC remarque son potentiel, comme l'avaient fait ses premiers entraîneurs.
After I get the UFC contract, that is when I say, okay, let's do this.
Look at this specimen, 6'4", 250 pounds of explosive raw power.
Scary.
And the heavyweight division does not get guys like this very often.
Big, heavy guy with a lot of power to him. Oh, he's done. That's it. That's it. That left uppercut was nasty.
Let's go, champ. Jab. 1, 2.
The right eye of Curtis Blades near shut.
1, 2, 3, champ.
Francis is an enigma.
4 years ago, this dude didn't even know what MMA was. I mean, that is incredible.
He's very athletic, especially for a man as gigantic as he is.
And this guy is super strong. Look at this. Another huge, eye-opening victory.
In boxing, we've seen the great Muhammad Ali's and the great Mike Tyson's.
That is a plus athlete right there, and he's just getting going.
Now we're gonna see a great heavyweight in the UFC landscape.
Oh! Ngannou knocks Arlovsky down. That is it!
Francis Ngannou is that guy.
The scariest heavyweight on the roster at present. No argument here.
I'm trying to do something that's never been done.
En 2017, le monde entier reconnaît le potentiel de Francis Ngannou. Il est alors temps de mettre à l'épreuve cet engouement contre une légende des poids lourds, le multiple champion de kickboxing et d'arts martiaux mixtes, Alistair Overeem.
And as decorated a heavyweight as there has been in mixed martial arts, the Demolition Man, Alistair Overeem.
This man's a warrior, ladies and gentlemen. Without a doubt, one of the best technical strikers in the heavyweight division.
Ready, sir? Let's go.
This is going to be skill and experience versus unbelievable firepower. Oh, old school, going to the stomps.
All right, break. Time. Separate. Hands up, hands up, hands up. Let's go, box.
Not a lot of people burning up Mick Maynard's phone to try to get a matchup with Ngannou. Down goes the Reem. Francis Ngannou has arrived.
He hit him with a left hook and picked him off his feet with one shot. That's how scary Francis Ngannou is. I mean, that's like a scene in a movie.
Looked like he said, "Where is the belt?" It's in Cleveland, Ohio.
Le plus grand combattant d'arts martiaux mixtes de l'Ohio habite dans les environs de Cleveland. La maison de Stipe Miocic lui rappelle tous les jours son parcours l'ayant mené au titre des poids lourds de l'UFC.
When I started training for MMA, I had a few amateur fights, and then I took about a year and a half off just to do stand-up, just boxing with the Golden Gloves, with the Nationals. Then my man cave, and then I got a bunch of little cool posters here and there. This is my Golden Gloves when I went to Cleveland. Dusty. This is for the Ohio Fighter of the Year, Former Boxers Association. It's a pretty cool group of people. I did all that, which is, amazing experience. And then I missed MMA. I mean, look at all these fights I've been in so far, and that one's uneven. I gotta fix that one. That's gonna bother me now. Ooh. They'll have their stories, and it's pretty neat. A lot of people send me stuff. My aunt sent me stuff, articles. Actually, it was my first UFC fight against Joey Beltran, the ticket.
En 2011, Miocic fait son entrée chez les poids lourds de l'UFC avec ses mains rapides et son rythme implacable. Sa boxe supérieure lui permet de vaincre ses adversaires.
Big right hand from Stipe Miocic. This fight is over.
Stipe Miocic remains unbeaten. Big connection by Miocic. Stipe is going off here. And the knee.
Oh, big right hand there. Stipe Miocic looking for the quick finish, and he's got it.
Technical boxing is outstanding.
His star continues to shine.
Oh, good right hand by Stipe. Arlovski's hurt. He's hurt. This could be it. That's it. That's it. Just like that. He's screaming at Dana White. Give me my shot. Give me my shot.
8 victoires dans l'UFC mène Miocic à Curitiba au Brésil en 2016. Où 45 000 amateurs le voient enlever facilement la ceinture des mains du champion brésilien Fabricio Werdum.
Oh, that's it!
Un nouveau jour se lève chez les poids lourds de l'UFC, alors que Miocic entreprend un règne historique. Guidé par ses entraîneurs et coéquipiers de Strong Style MMA.
I've been there since day one. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I'm at. I wouldn't be the champ. So whatever they want, we do.
Le dévouement du propriétaire du gym, Marcus Marinelli, et son noyau d'entraîneurs gardent l'élève vedette prête à relever les défis.
We want the toughest fighters in there. That's Marcus's approach when for any of his athletes that come into this place. That's the bottom line. We're going to be prepared to fight whoever they put in front of us.
The journey has been awesome because he's that person. He doesn't care who it is. Whoever the UFC puts in front of him, he wants.
Miocic accueille l'UFC en Ohio pour la première défense de son titre et le héros local ne déçoit personne.
Stipe on top.
big ground and pound. Alistair's in all sorts of trouble here. Oh, he's out. He's out. He wins at home. Outstanding. And what a victory for Stipe Miocic.
Après avoir défendu sa ceinture à Cleveland, Miocic se rend à Dallas, au Texas, pour un combat revanche fort attendu. L'ancien détenteur de la ceinture des poids lourds, Junior Dos Santos, est le dernier homme à avoir battu le champion. En plus d'avoir l'occasion d'égaler le record du nombre de défenses de son titre, Miocic a l'occasion de se racheter.
No fighter in the history of this division has more knockdowns. No one has landed more significant strikes. Here he is, Junior Dos Santos.
This guy's an assassin dude. When the door closes, these dudes are gonna go after it. It's gonna be amazing. I can't wait.
Miocic in the black and gold, befitting a champion. Junior Dos Santos is in white.
This is a big key for Junior, not being against the side of the octagon. He puts himself in danger there.
Nice leg kick by Junior.
After only 2 kicks, you can see Stipe already kind of walking gingerly on that leg.
Yep, he's having a hard time with that left calf. It's giving out on him. Oh, he tagged him. He tagged him twice.
Stipe's doing a good job of just getting after him now, knowing that he's taking that damage to the leg.
And exactly what you were saying about Junior putting his back to the cage.
Yep.
Oh! Down goes Dos Santos!
That's it. That's it. Fight's over.
One of the greatest heavyweights of all time. He has tied the record for successful heavyweight title defenses.
Pour battre le record de défense d'un titre chez les poids lourds, Miocic doit vaincre le dangereux Francis Ngannou à l'UFC 220 à Boston.
I worked way too hard to get this belt. I'm not giving it up. I don't really care who I fight. I'm gonna win.
Alors que le champion des poids lourds, Stipe Miocic, se prépare à défendre son titre pour une 3e fois, son camp d'entraînement pour l'UFC 220 est appuyé par les gens de Cleveland. Le combattant local se réjouit de l'appui qu'il reçoit.
When you talk about Cleveland, you really embrace the city like no other athlete. Why is that, Stipe?
Because Cleveland's awesome, man. I love Cleveland. It's just, people don't understand it. It's a different culture here. And like I said, the loyalty and the love that people show for the sports teams and just anything in general, Cleveland, they love it.
Stipe really epitomizes Cleveland. He's a hardworking, humble individual. So the people have really gravitated toward that.
Stipe, thank you very much as always for the time, man. I greatly appreciate it, brother.
Thank you.
L'une des grandes franchises du coin est les Browns de Cleveland dans la NFL. Leur receveur éloigné vedette, Josh Gordon, prend le temps de rester en contact avec son ami.
Hey, man. How you doing, man? Thanks for coming up, man.
Yeah, no problem.
How you doing?
Good, man.
Yeah? Hey, man, I'm going to start here in a little bit. Talk, hang out for a little bit and show you around. Is that cool? Okay. It's great to see Josh. I met him before, super quiet guy, super nice guy. That's what I liked about him.
I met him a few years back, but that was before he was even champion, and we had no clue that this was his trajectory. I wanted to make sure we linked up, and I was able to see him and see if he was ready to go.
Alors que Miocic se prépare à affronter l'aspirant Francis Ngannou à l'UFC 220, son visiteur voit comment l'homme le plus féroce de la Terre se prépare pour le soir du combat.
Hands up, hands up, hands up. Good, right.
Any aspect of fighting, the intensity, it correlates to exactly what I do, the mentality that you have to be in to go out there and execute.
Nice, beautiful.
It's one of the best things to watch.
Good. Go, champ. 35 seconds.
To meet all these players, it's just been a blessing. I'm very grateful for everything that's happened.
Ain't nobody. Let's go, man.
Jared Anthem walking out and still with the belt still wrapped around my waist.
Le champion des poids lourds est habitué à la reconnaissance amenée par son statut dans l'UFC. Alors que la célébrité de son adversaire ne cesse de croître, Francis Ngannou commence à vivre le même genre de changement dans son style de vie.
This is our first ever sports drink sponsor. It's a perfect fit all the way around, and we could not be more excited.
What's your favorite flavor?
Orange mango.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
You got a company like Body Armor that's using you as a national brand ambassador. What does it mean for you for a company to put you front and center, that they want you to represent their company?
That means they believe on you. They really engage and show the whole world that, okay, we are behind this guy.
Les occasions de promotion sont un bonus au succès sportif. Mais un authentique professionnel n'oublie jamais la tâche à accomplir. Pour Ngannou, ça veut dire une occasion d'enlever la ceinture au champion Stipe Miocic.
I think people know that if it's a striking fight, you're very dangerous. But people, I think he might wrestle. Are you expecting him to wrestle a lot? How prepared are you for that?
In these past 2 years, I've been learning a lot about wrestling, and with Stipe now, I can stop it anywhere I want.
He's got the shine, Jon Anik.
Absolutely incredible where this man is on the cusp of UFC glory.
Même si c'est la puissance de ses coups qui lui a permis d'obtenir un combat pour le titre, Ngannou est déterminé à parfaire son jeu. Il compense son relatif manque d'expérience en lutte par son talent sportif et sa puissance brute.
He's got good hips, so he's able to maintain pressure the entire time, and when he wants to turn it on, it's like flipping a switch, and you just feel that power come over you. He's strong. He's strong, man.
That power, sometimes, with a little bit of technique, I can defend everyone. My past fight against Alistair, he came to this clinch.
Very interesting. Alistair with the clinch, but Ngannou tremendously strong.
And I was like, that's it. You did a mistake, my man. You should not limit major your power.
All right, break time, separate.
And you're gonna be the same team with Stipe. He should not make that mistake.
That's what we were talking about, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely frightening power from Francis Ngannou.
Good Lord.
L'UFC Performance Institute à Las Vegas accueille tous les jours des combattants locaux comme l'aspirant au titre des poids lourds, Francis Ngannou.
Let's jog around 2 times and then we'll warm up back here.
Selon le directeur de force et conditions physiques, Bo Sandoval, qui a une grande expérience à titre d'entraîneur de champions universitaires nationaux et d'olympiens,
come outside the door. Yeah. Push. Push.
Ngannou fait partie des meilleurs.
He's easily top 4 athletes in my career that I've ever seen. 2, 1 more. Good. Okay. All right, we're gonna take the 100-pound ball over the shoulder. So we'll lift, drop over the shoulder, just turn around, other shoulder. Good. We judge that looking at a variety of different things. Skill set, but then also adaptability, strength and power, speed. Just the sheer size of him is the other big factor. I want speed, as fast as you can. As explosive as you can, like that championship belt is attached to it. To watch him develop and to watch him grow has been really amazing. Draw quick, hands and feet. He just does it faster than most people do it. Good, back, 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 back. This guy's just killing it. Come on, Francis, stay on it, stay on it.
Le potentiel auparavant inexploité de Ngannou brille dans ce centre ultramoderne.
Pull hard. Nice.
Comme l'indique son récent record du monde pour le coup de poing le plus puissant sur Terre.
3, 2, 1. Go. Hard, hard, hard.
Malgré tous les progrès de Ngannou,
sprint, sprint.
Il n'y a que son combat pour le titre à l'UFC 220 contre Stipe Miocic qui compte. Et il croit que c'est à son tour.
30 seconds. Very nice.
Stipe is good, but imagine what I can do compared to what he can do. They still don't know a lot about Francis Ngannou.
He gets stronger as the time goes. Here we go.
On January 20th, everyone will see what that specimen can do.
Relax. Ah! Well done, brother.
plus de 3200 km du siège social de l'UFC, le champion optimise ses performances dans le centre qu'il considère comme chez lui, grâce à l'entraîneur d'agilité qui le connaît le plus. Même si Bobby Khalil reconnaît la puissance de Ngannou, il croit que Miocic est le poids lourd le plus complet et expérimenté sur Terre, avec des qualités athlétiques supérieures à n'importe quel aspirant.
I think Stipe could have been a tight end in the NFL. I totally think so. He definitely has an athletic advantage. Quick hand, stay low. Good. Beautiful. Back it up, last time. You know, when you think of an athlete, there's sport-specific athletes, and then there's just these all-around athletes. And he's a multifunctional, all-around athlete. He has so much explosion built up that people don't realize that when it comes like a freight train. Pop, ha, ha, ha. Good move. You're going to see Stipe being able to do whatever he needs to do to win this fight like he always does. It doesn't matter if he's got to go 5 rounds. You've seen him do that before. Come back with a combo. Okay? Once you see the opening. Good move. We're prepared to do whatever it takes to win. Oh, that would have drilled me. Like, I'm a little nervous right now. Got me that time.
Sky's the limit for this guy. Massive power.
A dangerous man.
Pour l'aspirant numéro 1, Francis Ngannou, un coup de poing suffit pour gagner un combat.
Francis Ngannou, man!
Wow.
Mais le champion représente son plus grand défi. Quand les lumières brilleront à Boston à l'UFC 220,
Incredible determination.
And he's just tough. He's just tough as nails.
le monde entier assistera à un affrontement entre les plus grands guerriers de la Terre.
This is what it's all about. You get this new up-and-coming young giant that comes in here that's explosive, can knock people out in one punch, versus a guy who's fought them all.
Unfortunately, Francis, I'm lightweight champion. I'm not giving it up, and so he ain't gonna be champion until I leave.
Look how much power you have to have on your heel to deliver that kind of blow.
He's afraid.
That is one intimidating man.
Oh, he's done.
He needs to remind himself that he's a champ to be confident.
This man is scared.
That not gonna change nothing.
Stipe Miocic looks spectacular.
I really care if it's a decision, knockout, submission. I'm gonna win the fight.
And another. And another. Oh, he's out. He's out.
Arlovski believes that also.
Absolutely spectacular knockout.
Alistair believes that also. But we all see what happened after.
Alistair Overeem is still out cold, like he just got electrocuted.
Un autre KO de Ngannou inaugurerait une nouvelle ère chez les poids lourds.
Shut him completely off.
Et pour Miocic, une autre défense de son titre battrait le record des poids lourds.
I want to keep winning. I'm going to break it, and it's going to happen. It will happen. I will break it in my next fight.
And what a victory for Stipe Miocic.
At the end of the day, we know who is the real king.
That's how powerful this man is.
Oh, good right hand by Stipe. Hammer fist by Stipe.
Vicious uppercut.
Not going anywhere. And still.
Wow. It's about as definitive as it gets.
La demi-finale de l'UFC 220 met en vedette le retour du poids mi-lourd Daniel Cormier, dont le parcours vers le sommet du sport commence bien avant son arrivée chez AKA à San Jose en Californie. Avant d'entreprendre les arts martiaux mixtes, Cormier participe 2 fois aux Jeux olympiques et est 6 fois champion national des États-Unis en lutte.
Right cross again. So, boom, boom, step, boom. There you go.
You know, when I showed up to San Jose in 2009, I had no idea what was in store for me.
That's what I want.
He was very fortunate that when he came into the MMA world, he had, two-time Olympian to his credit.
Daniel Cormier!
Cormier est un phénomène. Il compile une fiche invaincue chez les poids lourds. Ce qui le mène à un titre de Grand Prix Strikeforce. Il descend ensuite à 205 livres pour se mettre en quête du championnat de l'UFC.
Oh, big right hand by Cormier. Oh, he's hurt. He's hurt. He got tagged with that uppercut.
Look at that. Wow. Just complete ragdoll.
Même s'il ne réussit pas à s'emparer du titre à son premier essai, Les inconduites de John Jones permettent à Cormier de s'emparer du titre et de le défendre 2 fois avec sa suprématie reconnue.
The new light heavyweight champion of the world. Daniel Cormier is made of glue. Don't come close to him. Don't let him touch you because you're going to get stopped. He's under the neck.
There it is.
Oh, my goodness.
That's it.
And
still, Daniel Cormier has done it.
Jusqu'au retour de son adversaire, après plusieurs suspensions, pour un combat revanche très médiatisé.
I mean, these are easily the 2 best light heavyweights of all time. Oh, he caught him.
Big punches landed by DC. Oh, big uppercut. Looked like he knocked him out. Peace out.
He did. This is absolutely a different Daniel Cormier than their first fight. And he's talking trash.
Un nouveau Cormier amélioré affronte John Jones.
Oh, beautiful. 2 shots. Very nice. We got this one. We got the round.
Mais ce n'est pas suffisant pour venger sa seule défaite en carrière. Encore une fois, DC et son équipe n'arrivent pas à battre le plus grand poids mi-lourd de l'histoire.
My whole world just shattered, and then to top it off, to find out the bad news later.
I'm glad you're here, DC, because John Jones tested positive for Turinabol from a sample the day before your guys' fight, of course, at UFC 214 in July. California State Athletic Commission has overturned the bout to a no contest due to the failed test. So what does this mean for you, DC?
Dana White called me today, and he said, you know, the championship is getting returned to you. So once again, I'm the UFC champion. The reality is, I lost the fight. People will say stuff like, well, you got handed the belt, and it's an unfortunate situation. I feel like I carry a stench from that fight, right? Like, I know I lost, and I'm the champ again, and I need to go and beat someone in order to clear myself of that.
He has to defend that title in order for people to recognize him again as the true champ. That's just the way it's going to be.
Once it was time to get going, it was like, well, who's it going to be?
Le prochain adversaire de Cormier est le premier combattant de la Suisse à se battre pour un titre de l'UFC. L'aspirant numéro 2 des poids mi-lourds, Volkan Ozdemir, est le premier à émerger d'un pays plus connu pour ses industries de longue date que les arts martiaux.
Switzerland is known for basically the banks, the chocolates, and the watches. MMA is still developing.
L'intérêt de Ozdemir pour le kickboxing l'entraîne vers une carrière en combat à un jeune âge, sous la direction d'un pionnier des arts martiaux mixtes suisses.
10 or 11 years ago, I opened the gym because in Switzerland we have nothing. We have a little bit of kickboxing, karate, judo, but jiu-jitsu, MMA, nothing. I travel a lot in Thailand, in Brazil, in USA to learn some new techniques and to take back to Switzerland. I started like with 1 student, 2 students, and 600 or 700 people now is training.
Même si Ozdemir s'entraîne maintenant aux États-Unis, la Fight Move Academy en Suisse continue de profiter de la rapide croissance des arts martiaux mixtes. Et l'équipe se souvient de la place de Ozdemir dans l'essor du sport.
Combien ta hanche? Oui. C'est ça.
When Volkan arrived, he's a really good striker and he grew up really fast.
Et là, vous accélérez. Ça marche? Allez, 1, 2, 3. Let's go!
Every time he goes to training, he's going to try to learn something from anyone. It can be from a taekwondo guy, from a guy doing judo, anything. Like, he's always trying to improve, and he's never scared.
Après avoir remporté ses 6 premiers combats, Ozdemir participe à un tournoi d'un soir au Danemark en 2013.
6 fights and 6 wins.
Son intrépidité et sa puissance lui procurent une courte soirée de travail.
Some people born with one talent, and Volkan is this knockout power.
Avec 3 KO au premier round dans la même soirée, Ozdemir remporte sa première ceinture en arts martiaux mixtes. Depuis, Ozdemir est devenu un athlète reconnu partout en Suisse et ses plus grands admirateurs sont chez lui.
He won the tournament
and the press talk about it. Every young boy see Volkan as a big champion. Comme ça. Proud.
C'était un pas important pour lui. C'était une marche d'escalier très importante. C'est comme ça qu'il a pu peut-être aller en Amérique.
Malgré la progression des arts martiaux en Suisse, Özdemir sent que pour atteindre le sommet du sport, il doit déménager en Floride du Sud, un pôle d'excellence en arts martiaux mixtes.
There was a point where I wasn't earning enough money for sure with the fighting, and I wasn't able to sustain my family with what I had.
Bonjour.
Salut.
Ça va?
Oui. Alors en Suisse, c'est très difficile de vivre de ce sport.
Ça va, oui?
Oui. On est épanouis.
T'es bien dans l'entraînement, là?
Ouais, ben là, ça se passe bien. Il reste encore 5 semaines. Et puis, tout se passe bien. Je progresse bien. Mon poids, il est aussi au top.
Quand Volkan a décidé de s'entraîner aux USA, j'ai trouvé que c'était fantastique pour lui parce que c'était une porte magnifique qui s'ouvrait pour sa profession, pour son avenir.
Ciao, ciao. Bisous. Ciao, ciao.
Le déménagement de Özdemir aux États-Unis lui permet de se consacrer à fond au combat. Et son nouveau domicile lui offre le personnel et les installations nécessaires pour attirer l'attention sur les arts martiaux mixtes suisses.
Loosen everything up today, Volkan. We got a little bit of strength, a lot of conditioning. Be explosive with these, give me 6.
Volkan's kind of a trailblazer for Switzerland. You know, there's not a lot of fighters known for, coming from that area.
Rolling to our left. Set, go!
And there might be more after this, seeing the way that he's coming out here and doing what he needs to do. He's doing what it takes to be a champion.
Nice and reactive. Everything's off my cue. Be quick, keep the body nice and tense.
Une fois qu'il peut s'entraîner à temps plein, Özdemir dispute des combats de plus en plus importants.
There it is.
Il reçoit ici un appel de l'UFC, et ce, plus tôt que prévu.
I was just finishing up a camp with Volkan to fight for a heavyweight title on a smaller promotion. I get a phone call that says I have an opportunity to fight a top 10 opponent in the UFC at 205. React. Can I make it? There it is. One more. That's it. I have Chris Algieri sitting next to me. I say, Chris, can we do it? Yes or no? Last one. Keep it there. Everything there.
And I said, yeah, sure, we can make it.
The first fighter born in Switzerland to make this walk to the octagon. He's certainly proud about it.
Une occasion avec un court préavis se présente contre Ovin St. Preux, un ancien aspirant au titre ayant la puissance pour mettre fin à des combats.
Özdemir's got a little bit of a mean streak here. This was a high-paced fight.
La grande scène et l'adversaire du top 10 ne déstabilisent pas le nouveau venu.
Switzerland is on the UFC map, courtesy of the 27-year-old Volkan Özdemir.
Özdemir fait son arrivée, mais le meilleur reste à venir. Pour le poids mi-lourd de l'UFC Volkan Özdemir, déménager de la Suisse aux États-Unis est un processus qui s'amorce en 2011. Il est alors recruté par l'équipe des Black Zillions qui vient d'être créée en Floride du Sud. Quand Özdemir déménage en permanence aux États-Unis 4 ans plus tard, l'équipe est dissoute. Mais un noyau est resté avec l'entraîneur de kickboxing, Henry Hooft, dont l'élève vedette, Anthony Rumble Johnson, a toujours besoin de partenaires d'entraînement.
That man right there, Henry Hooft, is one of the most talented striking coaches in MMA today.
When you hit him groups, make your sidestep. Hit him from the side.
Anthony Johnson is a terrifying force.
When Volkan came in, he came in as
Anthony Johnson's sparring partner. 2 5-minute rounds, kickboxing, then we're gonna do some MMA rounds. You know, I've seen a lot of guys come and go at that time, and I'm thinking he'd just be like the rest. And he went in there, he took some good shots, but what was more important is that he gave some, and he kept coming back. 1 minute! Watching him work in here, coming in day after day, I can see in his mind, he had the utmost confidence in his hands. All right, guys, we'll get some MMA rounds on. MMA rounds in. I want to start him on the fence or on the ground in a frustrated position, okay?
I always knew that I was there with them, you know. It's just that I didn't have the opportunity. Sparring with all those big guys, big names. It was tough, but I think that's what built me up too.
Avant d'entrer dans l'UFC, Özdemir avait mis fin à 10 de ses 12 victoires au premier round, 9 par KO.
Özdemir coming out very aggressive.
Après une victoire sur décision à ses débuts dans l'UFC, il est temps de transformer ce succès de début de carrière à la grande scène.
From Switzerland, but fighting out of Florida, USA, that is Volkan Özdemir. This man wanted to be the prospect of 2017. He is fast on his way to becoming that.
Oh, Serkinov went down. He's down. Wow!
The end comes officially 28 seconds, round number 1.
I always end up my fight really quick knockout, and people were telling me it's because of the level of the competition, but then in the UFC the same stuff happened.
He's a talented guy, and this is a really interesting fight to get things started. He's a very good striker. You see him use a lot of traditional martial arts skills, kicks on the outside, very good punches as well. But he's fighting a guy that a lot of people want to avoid in Jimmy Manuwa. Jimmy Manuwa is a scary man and getting scarier every day.
Number 3 versus number 5 in this UFC light heavyweight division.
Oh, you heard him.
Huge punches.
Özdemir heard him.
Awesome.
Oh,
Özdemir pushes
he's out.
Manuwa down. He's out.
Ran right through him.
Özdemir does it again.
Wow.
You gotta be kidding me.
At 22 seconds of the very first round. By knockout.
You are now 3-0 in the octagon against world-class competition.
I don't know what's happening in my hands, but that's dynamite.
Alors que les meilleurs aspirants de la catégorie sont anéantis, Özdemir obtient un combat pour le titre contre le champion des poids mi-lourds, Daniel Cormier, qui termine son camp d'entraînement à l'American Kickboxing Academy, où il joue l'un des rôles de leader les plus valorisants de sa vie.
Outside. Backwards.
Of all the titles in the world.
Grab somebody. Hand fighter.
Olympic team captain and the captain of the American Kickboxing Academy, those are two that I hold very dear to my heart because you're chosen by your peers. For the guys to feel confident that I will represent this team and be the type of leader that they can call captain.
Guys, get the water ready to go. 2 groups.
I'm very proud of it.
All right, guys, let's go. Go.
Le capitaine de l'équipe donne l'exemple. Et le débit épuisant requis pour survivre à l'entraînement de lutte de Cormier prépare le champion à répliquer à la puissance de KO de Özdemir à l'UFC 220.
The worst thing that happened to him was getting those fast knockouts because he won't be ready for what's next when it doesn't happen.
Is Volkan willing to go through the grind? No. Volkan can't go through the grind, can he?
So what else, Volkan? What happens when you don't knock me out and I'm constantly pursuing you?
If you can't outwork me, Volkan, you can't compete against me, Volkan.
And I'm throwing you down. And I'm pushing you against the fence.
Vol can't win the fight against me. Vol can't win the fight against me.
And I'm just making you work for 25 straight minutes. What next?
Push up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
He just does not know what he's in store for.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Walk. Ah!
L'aspirant au titre des poids mi-lourds de l'UFC, Volkan Özdemir, présente une liste impressionnante de KO au premier round. Mais un combattant de haut niveau doit être dangereux sous plus d'un aspect.
Stop. Roll back, sprawl and shoot.
prévision de son combat de championnat contre le lutteur olympique Daniel Cormier, le poids mi-lourd suisse peaufine son grappling avec l'entraîneur Mario Sperry et plusieurs partenaires d'entraînement.
When he stands again, I stand. I always end up in the same position, preparing my submission. Here in the U.S., especially in Florida, we have an outstanding opportunity to train with different wrestlers, jiu-jitsu fighters. So I think it's a very good environment for him to develop his skills. First, control, then damage, then submission. Prepare. Go! Yeah, pull. Good job, Vulcan. Pull. Nice, Vulcan. Nice, Vulcan. Stand up.
I'm training every area of the game, and wrestling right now has a little bit more of a focus because of Cormier wrestling pedigree.
Keep going. Yes!
He's a two-time Olympian, and that's why I need to get ready for the worst spot I can end up.
Yes, that's it. Get a box. Go! Come on. Nice. Get the position.
He can try to do whatever he wants. I'm going to be there strong, and I'm going to impose my will.
La préparation de Ozdemir est axée sur une planification intelligente, mais Daniel Cormier connaît la différence entre les matelas d'entraînement et le plancher de l'octogone.
It's easy to watch from afar and think that, oh, I can apply this and do that, but it's not as simple when that cage door closes. I'm gonna smash this dude.
Le champion des poids mi-lourds puise son assurance dans son expérience. Et il est prêt à tout ce que l'aspirant va lui présenter.
If I want it to be, I can wrestle him, I can grapple him. If I don't, I'll stand with him. There's no part of me that's afraid of Vulcan Ozdemir in any way, shape, or form.
That's it. DC is a different animal. He got great boxing, for a guy who came from a wrestling background.
That's it.
He touched his last few opponents pretty well.
Big punches landed by DC.
Oh, beautiful left hook and a right hand over the top by DC.
It's a different Daniel Cormier right now.
Oh, he caught him.
L'UFC 220 est imminent. Quand l'aspirant numéro 1, Francis Ngannou, défiera le champion Stipe Miocic pour le titre de champion du monde des poids lourds, les deux savent qu'un seul coup peut faire la différence entre la victoire et la défaite.
Francis Ngannou has arrived!
Francis, do you think that Stipe is going to be willing to stand and trade hands with you, or do you feel like he's going to go to wrestling right away?
I think he'll try to survive. I'm going to catch it. You know what happened when I connect.
Oh! That's what we were talking about, ladies and gentlemen.
Let him get all the hype he wants. And I'm do what I do, and I'm going to keep winning.
The path to the UFC heavyweight title still goes through Cleveland, Ohio.
Alors que Stipe Miocic vise à établir le record de la catégorie pour le nombre de défenses du titre, le champion Daniel Cormier vise à éliminer un autre dangereux aspirant dont la confiance et la puissance représentent une menace connue.
Oh, Ozdemir pushes Mantle down, he's out. Wow. Vulcan Ozdemir does it again. You gotta be kidding me.
So many guys go into the fight with the idea that they're just going to get me out of there. But what happens after 5 minutes when I'm still pressing you? They turn over, they present their neck.
He's under the neck. Oh, my goodness.
And they tap out.
Daniel Cormier has done it.
And that's about to happen to Vulcan Ozdemir.
I got a heart, man. It's not going to be that easy. All my fights were so fast, and you're not going to be different.
Pour ces guerriers plus grande nature, 2 titres mondiaux de l'UFC sont en jeu, alors que de formidables cogneurs vont s'affronter à Boston.